last time on Dragon Ball Z.
So this is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock?
Stand back, I'm barging the door down. He was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case.
That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through.
Monsieur Robicio Rubinho, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless.
You shall be charged with perjury in due course. Mayhaps I should offer my opinion.
But, Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor. And yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections? No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening.
Okay. Baron Rogier, on the night of the
The initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Greenway left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Senor Pourchois, Monsieur Rubinho, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Greenway and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help.
Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there.
I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well then, hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Rogier, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. I'd like to state. The dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Greenway left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind a few moments later. My housemaid discovered the pair just after the photographer left and called for help. So, what do we have for evidence? Let's go to general. We have a cigar. We've used the clock. We haven't used the fish or the camera. These are 3 pieces of evidence. I don't know if we can use some evidence over or not. Barrow son, give me some ideas on what we should question him about. I'm thinking Monsieur Greenway.
Monsieur Grenouille, go for it.
Monsieur Greenway. Baron Rogier. I have some questions about Monsieur Greenway. God rest his soul. What was your relationship to him? What was your relation to Monsieur Greenway prior to his demise? We were business partners. Monsieur Greenway, Senor Pourchois de Miao, and myself all owned a third share in an up-and-coming railway company. Excuse the crassness of this question, but that means that you and Senor Pourchois would now own half of the company each, correct? Correct. I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from his foul situation. But monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Greenway and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing. Of course. Do you have any other questions about Monsieur Greenway? Ask more about him. Why did Monsieur Greenway visit the garden? What was your relation to... I already did that. Why did Monsieur Greenway leave to visit the garden? I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear. Oh, I see. But that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it? How so? Well, Monsieur Greenway fell sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived, and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness.
Hold on, Falcon. Surely you weren't suggesting that Monsieur Grenouille's food was poisoned in some way?
Well, I don't have any evidence of it.
No.
So that would be like speculation if I said yes. So I'm just going to say no. No, there's nothing to indicate poisoning. I just found the timing somewhat puzzling. There's nothing puzzling about it. Monsieur Greenway always had a soft stomach. It's really no surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak. Love how he's smoking in court, too.
Right.
No, I don't have any more questions about the frog. Okay, the dinner went magnificently. I guess I could
Oh,
ask
I
you
know,
about
the garden.
The garden?
The
All right,
garden.
spare us, son. Baron, we saw the murder scene. Your garden for ourselves. What's with all the horses? If I may ask, what's with all the horses? I beg your pardon? There are all these horse and cherub statues in your garden. To be frank, we found the whole thing a little weird. Critter defense, please stop horsing around. This can't possibly have any relevance to the case. Nay, it doesn't.
No. We have to place them at the scene of the crime.
Nay, Your Honor, it doesn't. But hey, you can't bray a man for trying.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yes. Okay, when was the last time you visited? Baron Royale, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Years, you say? Indeed. That's not right. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh, and why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred.
A cigar butt? That could belong to anybody, and...
Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Baron.
That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars. But I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. But naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin.
See, Falcon, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
I would find that believable if the cigar were actually discarded. But as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience.
And a little paddling.
The cigar butt was not dropped. It was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is that you, Baron Royale, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Royale, murdered Monsieur Greenway. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen.
That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence. No means, motive, or opportunity.
No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Rabington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Royale as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are as sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Robinho confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous! I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of a motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. This is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guest, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guest in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something! Object! Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Signor Patois de Meow, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage! Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No! There's only one outrage here. That is that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, garçon? The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous? I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp. I ought to gut you right here and now like a damn frog. Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the concierge with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add?
Well, in a manner of speaking, well, to be honest, no.
Then I shall now confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time.
Falcon, that was pretty incredible.
Thank you. I just hope it was enough.
What do you mean? You just proved Cataline's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure.
Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system.
What's that?
I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Cataline's innocence. All I've done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty.
I'm not sure that I understand the difference.
We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Catalan de Miao, to be not guilty. Ace Attorney, boys. Gotta do a little dusting of the shoulders.
Monsieur Falcon, petite person, you did it!
Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we?
We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly.
You're welcome, Miss Kitty Cat.
You did it, Falcon.
I can take all the credit. I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement.
I'm so proud of you both.
We'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least sturdy glasses.
You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon.
Oh, it was nothing.
I very much liked the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius.
Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrow's son and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case.
Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. The case is over.
Play coy?
Don't tell me you're actually being sincere.
I'm completely lost.
Oh wow, I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. Alright, I'll spell it out for you.
Don't tell me this bitch did it.
I murdered Monsieur Grenouille. I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand?
Business?
To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always says that the drunk old frog was the weakest link.
Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Rorgel's cigar butt hidden in the garden.
Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest.
But Falcon proved that Monsieur Robinho's photograph was edited.
It was edited. I was in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Grenouille in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Robinho to paint me over Baron Rorgueil and to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering the photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly.
My reaction right now.
Just like,
Bruh. Bruh.
what's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeoisie kitty like me.
Bruh.
I think you should leave.
Fine, so much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, petite person.
Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon? Bitch did it!
She did it well. I got her off. I mean, I guess that's what defense attorneys are supposed to do. So
Yeah, I mean, you did your job.
I did my job, you know.
You did your job. You got paid for it. At the end of the day, I guess that's what matters.